Appreciate you guys tuning in. The Tastemakers Podcast begins in 5 minutes. Make sure not to go nowhere, because Quote, Brina, Trisha, and Corey, also known as the Tastemakers, will be with you in 5 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us. Oh snap, you still here. Listen, in less than 3 minutes, the Tastemakers Pod will be on and popping. Don't miss Bree, Quote, Trish, and Corey talking about the hottest topics in culture. Again, less than 3 minutes. Make sure to stick with us.
Tastemakers.
Classic. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight.
I told y'all, patience is a virtue. This is what perseverance will get you. In just 60 seconds, you will be live with the Tastemakers Pod. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
For the new tastemakers, sommeliers came out to play. Classics in the current day. For the movers and shakers, for the new tastemakers, sommeliers came out to play. Classics in the current day.
The beat breaker. Tastemakers.
Yo.
Yeah.
What up?
Listen, giving you a taste of the culture is the Tastemakers Pod. That be Trisha Bell right there. That's light skinned Corey. Right below me is Brina, and they call me Quote. And we appreciate you guys chilling with us. Before I even do the normal things and ask the Tastemakers how they doing, let me shout out everybody in the chat because we late. All right, we behind the ball, and the fact that y'all is in the chat already talking and having a good time.
Nah, well, they know what we all black here. They know what's up.
I mean, though that is true, I want to shout out
no apologies.
Tosh in the chat, Inez in the chat, JR Psalms in the chat. Who else I got in the chat that I'm missing there? All of y'all
March.
In the chat right there. Appreciate you. Did you say Melanin March? Is that what I heard?
Right. That's right.
Melanin March. Oh,
wow.
Man.
Women's History Month.
It is.
Shout out to all the ladies.
Shout out to all the ladies. And
hey, yo, Trash!
Shouts out to the podcast in our space that actually involves ladies, multiple ladies on a regular basis, because that's extremely important.
It is.
We want to make sure that we don't just feature ladies on this show.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Yes, it works.
It works. It works.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yo,
okay.
I didn't even beep it to you.
Yes, we have sound effects.
You ain't even
got
I just need a real air horn now because the air horn they got, Bree, isn't a real air horn. Hit that joint real quick for me, Bree.
Okay.
Is it a Jamaican horn?
See, I need the DJ air horn. You know what I mean?
Wait. Do we got bombs too?
I don't think we got any bombs. Shouts out to Destiny.
We don't got clue bombs? We need a clue bomb.
Destiny said, y'all so late, I thought it was Thursday. Dang, like that?
Don't do it.
Shouts out to Jay. Oh, man. Definitely appreciate you guys hanging with us as we're running a little late. Yo, was that a Miami hat you got on there, Goss?
Ooh, I wish it was. That'd be fire if it was. I love Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. That's not a Dolphin hat?
Nah, this my man, Noah O. He got a company called Charged Up Entertainment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm supporting the homie one time.
Yeah, dope. When you see what I'm about right here.
Don't nobody care about the Seahawks no more.
What you mean? What's wrong with the Seahawks? What happened with the Seahawks?
You know what happened with the Seahawks.
Huh? It's Seahawks all day, ain't it?
Not anymore.
I'm headed to Denver, so
everybody's leaving.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. I'm going to
Y'all
Denver
tell me
with Russ
what
and
happened to the Seahawks. Let me know.
You know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all act like they traded somebody.
Yeah, why
somebody.
Who they trade?
These nuts.
Oh, See, I'm gonna need you to understand where to cut it off.
Are you trying to tell me that they're that easily accessible that people can just be trading them places?
Remember the D's nuts jokes? Those used to be funny.
Yeah. When we was in high school, maybe.
Right.
Nah, yo. Those used to be funny all day.
Yo, hold on. Inez said that Russell got traded. Who Russell get traded to?
Yo, Quote, shut up, bro.
Oh my
gosh.
Why are you doing this?
Y'all put me on.
You serious?
Seahawks all day.
You serious? He's
Seahawks
serious
all day.
No, he's not serious. He knows what happened.
What happened?
I know he knows what happened because we got screenshots.
Oh wow. So y'all trying to tell me Russ got traded. Inez said he getting traded to Colorado. To the Broncos, Inez? So what you're saying is I should get rid of this?
I have no parts in this conversation.
Charles said, "Quote, can't act." That's why I don't live in LA like you. No, I can't act. I know one thing though. It's about them Broncos right about now, though. Let's get it.
No, he didn't switch
Let's
that.
get it. It's about them Broncos. Yes.
That was great. Bree is on it. You better be on it, Bree.
That was incredibly whack. Like, yo, you gotta relax, bro.
No. So what was incredibly whack is that y'all took so freaking long to set me up with the alley-oop. That's what whack. Y'all just when I asked the questions, you just answer the questions. It would have happened like a bit real quick. I'd have thrown on the Broncos hat. That would have been it. Next time, all right?
It's
next
our
time.
fault now.
Right?
Wow.
I'm not in this conversation because I don't talk. I don't speak that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you don't speak sports?
I don't speak that.
Yo, anyway, it's definitely about them Broncos right now. And so that is what we're doing. Yeah. So next time, and this is a behind the scenes conversation happening out in the public. Tastemakers, next time I ask stupid, corny questions, just answer them. And the bit will roll on and we'll move on to the next thing. That's just how that works. I had to get it from the chat. Thank you, Inez. Exactly, Tasha. Had
Just
to get
don't
it
be
from the
corny.
chat.
Just don't be corny.
Y'all didn't know what I was gonna do. Y'all didn't know I had a Broncos hat.
I sure did. That was good though. I like that.
It would have been nice had it, just flowed, but
True.
It is what it is. Listen, that's enough of our behind the scenes stuff going on here at the Tastemakers Pod. But yes, it is now all about the Denver Broncos, and that is the team that I am rooting for now. I think Brina is on board as well. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
We have moved on.
Yep.
We no longer are Go Hawks. What do we say now with the Broncos? Go.
I don't know what that is.
Go horses.
Go Broncos.
Go Stallions. It's a whole new vernacular that we got to learn now that we are Bronco fans. Over here.
Exactly. I was not expecting that.
For the record, Russell Wilson represents Richmond, VA.
Oh,
VA all day.
That.
So therefore, where he go, I go. That's funny. What it is.
How do y'all feel about white boys that got braids?
I don't feel it.
Interesting. Just question. I just saw a dude from Elevation. I just saw the dude from Elevation with it, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Ooh.
The dude's Brandon Lake.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Quill. Go ahead.
No. I mean, hey, it is what it is. So we got some topics, guys. I guess that's what we'll get back on and do. These topics here is we're gonna go ahead and review Jor'dan Armstrong's Church Girls Love R&B. All right. Then we're gonna review your man Triple E, the CHH legend with the End Project. We'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about Kirk Franklin and Maverick City and how they are doing the God Behind Bars things, which is kind of dope. We'll talk about that a little bit. And we'll talk about your man Ryan Coogler having some Bank of America issues. Ended up handcuffed in the back of one of them things.
I don't like Bank of America anyway, so.
So, hey, well, everything's in the name, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But let's definitely get it in. I guess we'll start with this. How are you guys doing? Everybody okay?
We good, boy. I'm on Cali time. I'm about to go to California this weekend. I just got finished with a big event. So, I'm ready to roll. Now my next thing is in Cali, so I'm ready.
Yeah, Jay, we running late tonight. Our bad. It's actually my bad. I screwed up the production process. It was all on me. But Bree came in and saved the day and made it pop. So yeah, we running a little bit late. But you said you already on Cali time?
Already, boy.
When you leaving? You leaving Friday
night. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Breen, I'm gonna need you to tilt your camera down or move that. I just
moved it.
You're right. So listen, Bree, how your week been?
Busy. Still, it's gonna be busy for the next 2 weeks, but yeah, till this move is completed, it's gonna be busy. So
all right.
But it's all good.
We got a special guest actually standing in for Bree one of these weeks. We'll let you guys know exactly what's going on with that. So Bree is gonna be busy moving. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely keep the party going. Trish, how your week been?
Busy, little stressed because I'm transitioning out of one of my second part-time jobs, and I'm excited about this new gig, y'all. I'm so hyped.
Have you already started it or no?
No, I start Wednesday.
Oh, next Wednesday.
Okay. I'm getting my all of my equipment tomorrow, and I'm getting a new laptop. They gave me a whole MacBook, yo. So,
yes, a whole MacBook,
another one.
Hey, yo, you ever notice how black people will be super hyped about stuff that's normal to white people? Because Trish, that same thing happened to me when I first started at my job I'm at now, Hill City. Yo, they gave me a whole MacBook Pro, brand new.
Right.
Paid for my cell phone bill. So I'm hyped. Right. You feel it's I'm going to tell my other friends yo, my job give me this. They're yo, my job been doing that. What are you talking about? That's what jobs do.
That's what the corporate jobs do. Yes.
Wow.
Right.
I am not to this. Okay.
Neither was I. Neither was I.
I think the most I've ever got from a job when I was in management once, I got a BlackBerry back when the BlackBerry.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was the corporate phone back in the day.
It's
the best I had. And the iPhones had just dropped, so I had everything from the BlackBerry forwarded over to my new iPhone. Yeah. So
yes,
that's what it is.
Tasha, you are correct. You already know. I don't be looking like what I'd go through. Y'all, and I try not to. No. Because if I did, y'all could tell that I've been through it. So
shouts out to Alexis in the chat as well, and anybody else that I might have missed. Of course, Rel. Stephen the Levite, of course, my man Charles saying I missed the BlackBerry storm. I don't miss anything BlackBerry. iPhone all day, every day. It is what it is. So listen, for me, guys, I am actually, my body's been doing all kinds of stuff. So last year, I lost 40 pounds doing keto.
Word?
Yeah. Wow. And then I took a break December and January and a little bit of February and jumped back in late February. And it's been rough. Like my energy level hasn't been quite, like I ain't back on the swing things. I think I'm also trying new keto foods and products. Yeah. And I feel like maybe I need to chill and go back to what I was doing last year. But yeah, if I can lose another 40, 50 pounds, I'd be a happy camper. That'd be good. That's all I need.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Keto just hasn't been working for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not doing it. I don't know. I'm missing some.
They say it works for guys, but it didn't work for girls. But
yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So listen, your man Jor'dan Armstrong.
Let's talk.
Dropped a new project last week. The joint is called Girls Love R&B.
They do.
I mean? That's straight fact. I'm gonna let you on a little secret. Church guys love R&B too. Just the FYI. Just the FYI. Yeah. But definitely Jor'dan Armstrong put out this project last week. Jordan's been making a lot of noise. Of course, My God has actually been climbing up the charts. So that's been kind of dope. And just it was interesting to see how this project was going to be released and how it was going to be received. But let's start with your man. Actually, let's start with Trish. Trish, what you think about Church Girls Love R&B, your man Jor'dan Armstrong?
Yo, it's the whole vibe. Like, I was thoroughly impressed. Well, first of all, I love the cover because it's like ratchet, but like I don't know. I love the nails and the jewelry because that's me when I have money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my nails done. Watch. When I start y'all gonna be like, oh, this is a whole brand new. Yes. This is a whole new. Who is this Trish? Nails is gonna be dead. Hair is gonna be dead on a regular basis. So I'm letting y'all know this is me. Okay. And I love. It was like giving me like 90s R&B, but like with a updated like vibe to it. Yeah. I love. First of all, I was looking at his logo, and it reminded me of the Jodeci logo. Y'all remember what the Jodeci logo was like?
Yeah, it does.
Yes. The sound was just everything for me. You know, even like kind of like the storyline. In it as well. I just really enjoyed it. I really did. I could just play it over and over and over again. That's how good it was for me.
Any particular tracks stand out to you?
Hold up. I don't remember names.
Bang on deck.
I'm the worst. Come back to me on that one.
All right, Goss, what you think about the Jor'dan Armstrong project?
Yo, so I don't know if he can sing in real life. I feel like he can, but it's definitely like
that's an honestly good question. I think that's a good question.
Because there's a lot of work done on those songs. Like this ain't like I've seen him clean singing.
So I've seen him live once.
Me too.
The caveat to that is the sound in the place was absolutely horrible. So I have no clue if it didn't sound the best because of him or because of the sound in the building. But since the sound was so bad and everybody that got up was so bad, I'm gonna take it on that. I'm gonna chalk it up to that.
Yeah, but I'm just not sure if he sounds like that on record, if he's gonna sound like that in real life, because it's like, so like I'm in the middle of making a record as well too, and I did some things that I'm definitely songs I'm never gonna perform in real life. because I know I'm never gonna sound like the way that they think I'm gonna sound on a record. So I'm just hoping that sound can translate to a stage, into a concert, because you could tell that he got a lot of work done on those records. A lot of auto-tune, there's a lot of Drake vibes, there's a lot of that new R&B, which is not really singing.
It is.
But it's just like, I can create a vibe, you feel me?
Yeah.
So I like the records because it's like, okay, this sounds dope. Feel me? But I just don't know if I really like them because I might hear him in concert like, man, this dude sounds totally different. Feel me?
Well, I will say this: 95% of people's fans never hear them live. So,
what you mean?
95 of a musician's fans never hear them live.
That's not true.
Just because you go to concerts a lot doesn't mean that everybody does.
It's rare.
It's 95%. That's a lot of people.
95% of your fans as a musician will never, ever hear you live.
I need a Barner research study for that. I'm not taking your word for
it. It is what it is.
That's a lot of people. 95%.
I mean,
if I like somebody, I'm going to if they come to my town,
but that's
I'm going to their show.
That's you. You the same one that just spent $300 some odd dollars to go see Boom Boom Boom.
And that's a rare, but that's what I'm saying. That's rare because like everybody ain't got that type of money to be doing all of that.
Nah, but I'm saying for Christian artists, they don't be costing that much to go to their concerts. So we're
not talking about just Christian artists. We're talking about like in general. Like,
I said in general. I wasn't talking about just Christian hip hop. Though I do believe that that actually goes for CHH as well.
I don't know, bro. 95% is a lot. But what I was saying though too was, and then so did he cheat on somebody? Like, what was the storyline? Like, and then the girl took him back, and then like he was like a slime ball. Like, is this what I'm hearing? Like,
no, that's what that sounded like. Because I was mad.
Slime ball? No, I mean,
yes,
I didn't catch slime ball vibes.
What?
I didn't either.
I thought Jordan was the one who she called early on, and he was like, "No, don't go, Jasmine Sullivan. Don't be busting windows out the car." I thought, let me talk to him. I thought that was Jordan.
I thought that was him too.
Was Jordan. So Jordan actually didn't do the joint. Unless
but there was something. Yeah, there was a whole situation involved.
That's what I thought.
Episode because that's how I listened to the whole storyline. I was mad at the end when she took him back, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't get it.
I didn't hear
she took him back because he went to counseling.
Listen.
Took him back.
For one,
he apologized and everything.
Forgiveness up in this spot, right? For another, he didn't cheat. It was just an inappropriate conversation.
Cheating.
That's what he said, though.
That's still cheating.
What he said.
Allegedly. He definitely cheated.
If you having hold up, if my husband is having an inappropriate conversation with a woman, no, that is an emotional situation, and absolutely not.
That's 100% cheating, though.
100%.
Okay.
She said she had evidence, like she found stuff in his
text message and receipts. She then came back after hearing the other half of it, and she was like, "Oh, okay, I see how that could be misinterpreted." She came back.
But still, mad about the fact
this
that
is
he
not
was
the point.
I was honestly skipping that part, but
this is the point, quote, because
this is not the point. The album. We're reviewing the album, not the skits on the.
This is the album.
The skits are included, though.
The skits are included in the album. Like,
I
this is the whole.
To put all the skits together and just listen.
100%.
Yes, oh my God! I just got a headache.
Yes, I'm about to do that tonight.
This is about
the whole thing.
Like, I got 4 skits. I got 4 skits in my album, and they make up the album. Like, this is what he wanted.
I mean, that's true. It's part of the storyline.
It is.
All right, she found out he was cheating. She was gonna bust the windows, out his car on some Jasmine Sullivan stuff.
Yep.
And then she got talked out of it.
100%.
He said he was gonna go to counseling, and she was like, "You sure? Because you wasn't for that before."
Yeah.
She took him back, and I was
That's exactly what happened. Bree, I heard the same thing.
Yeah. So
all that y'all said, that is true. That is all facts. Has nothing to do with the album.
He's got to do another. one because
that has everything to do with the album quote.
Okay, all right. So
because we have those situations.
So Bree, what did you think of the music on the album?
I loved it. It moves me. I mean, I loved it. I listened to it the first time, and I heard Wildin', and I loved that one. So that one was on repeat. But as far as Jordan and R&B, like that's his lane. So I knew what to expect from that project. So it was really good. But I didn't listen for the storyline. I had to go back and listen to it again after my sister brought that up, and I was like, wait, that does connect. So yeah, but musically it was great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Artificial, bro. Artificial.
Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild.
I wasn't here for the storyline. I didn't care about that. I just wanted to hear the music.
So,
bro,
you gotta hear the story.
Makes the music.
It does. You gotta go back and listen to the whole.
What are y'all listening to? Do you listen to music or do you just skim through it?
So no, I listened to the whole joint. I listened to the whole joint. I didn't have to go back and realize what the storyline was because I heard the storyline throughout the whole joint. Anyway, I'm not going to talk right now about the skits. I'll get around to that. But the music, all right? Jordan does R&B very well.
Yeah.
And it's funny that his logo does kind of look like the Jodeci because this album sounded real Jodeci mixed with Chris Brown.
Yeah, I could see
and it was a dope sound to hear that kind of that Jodeci vibe with some updated Chris. It was really nice, really nice. Yeah. But Jordan does this and he does it so well. And this project was actually really, really smart. It was really, really smart because a lot of artists, I noticed, especially if you sing a little bit, after singing so much Christian music, you want to give your relationship chops. Plus, Jordan just got married within the last year or two.
Oh, that's
so sad. Yeah. So you want to give your relationship chops, and you got to think, how can I do this relationship music thing while still holding on to the Christian title and making sure that the Christians don't blast me for this joint? And that's how we have Church Girls Love R&B. All right. So you got probably split tracks. Probably about half of the tracks were more relationship oriented, whereas the other tracks were more still relationship oriented, but more God focused. Some of them weren't relationship more focused, but anyway, really dope project. The skit was great. I was worried about the skit at first because the skits promoted some real ratchetness at the beginning.
I loved it.
I was like, no, it's too rich. We can't be out here telling Christian women to go bust out windows and cars.
Well, no. Let me. Okay, no,
that's not.
No. But it fixed itself.
Yeah,
she called Jordan and he cooled it down.
Real.
No, it was real. I'm not saying it wasn't real. I'm just trying not to have ladies out here doing tires and stuff like that. I'm just
for sure. I don't think I think it's relatable. It's
very relatable. It's very relatable. And by the end of the joint, he had flipped it to where she reached out to him. He told her, "Hey, look, let me talk to him." She went to God on the issue. Nobody's windows got busted out. You know what I mean? Forgiveness was done. Explanation was done. Counseling is now set in the future. It was a good overall situation. I don't understand why y'all single folk is hating on their reconciliation and them getting through this misunderstanding together.
Wait. I think that's where I take the exit right there.
Me too.
Because that's a whole, if I find evidence, I mean, that whole forgiveness thing,
But you do know there's a certain thing as having evidence of something and having your brain and your filter see that evidence, and you done made this evidence to be something that it ain't.
Now, if it's something that it ain't, then you got to reconsider. That's
what different. This was. When she heard the other side of things, she was able to see that she saw it in a certain light. Her girlfriend saw it in a certain light, but when there was explanation to it, she was like, "Okay, I see what you're saying." Plus, the other girl was kind of shady, and she was trolling, and she was just trying to break up her situation because she ain't had no man, or maybe even she wanted him. Since we went back to these daggone skits,
man,
she was ready to fight dude and the girl. Yeah,
I think the part where I was saying is real is a woman wanting to do that initially after finding out. If you feel like the guy cheated, I know plenty of Christian women who that's the first thought. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying that's relatable. Like, no, he didn't. You know, like I don't think it's ratchet. I think it's real. Like, especially
it's real, but it's ratchet too. It could be both things at the same time.
Didn't Tina Campbell actually do that to like Teddy's car? Like, she actually busted his car.
I think I did hear something about that, and that was
I think
real,
I saw that on TV.
and it was also ratchet.
Tina Campbell, Tina from Mary.
Well, she did that.
That's what I think.
I'm just saying it happened.
It could have been something for the reality TV show, but yeah,
I don't blame her in that situation because what he did was low. But yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Inez says my friend maced her boyfriend's side chick. Y'all got to be careful.
But the side chicks really don't be their fault for real though. Like, why don't you make sure your man
not always, because the side chick be knowing that they side chicks. Sometimes, not always. I'm not saying always. Sometimes. So I don't can't make that blanket
I just went through a couple situations today. I found out when side chicks don't be always in the know. Shout out, Kiera said the quote would make a great prosecutor. Tasha's in the building, and Tasha put Kiera, and I don't know if that was a good, like, girl, you're right, quote, could be a prosecutor, or I'm a real lawyer, quote, couldn't do anything in the courtroom. I don't know what that was. Tasha, let me know to see, I might be in the wrong profession.
I think she was just saying hi.
Oh, okay. That's an example of seeing communication through your own filter.
Right. Quote trying to get those words
off. Exactly.
Y'all, I was trying to get my language is words of affirmation. Quote love.
I was trying to get my affirmation on. Yeah, and that did not happen at all. So
meanwhile, I hate words of affirmation. I do not like them at all.
Really? What? I love words of affirmation.
Why not?
I love it.
It's not my thing. It doesn't move.
Are you an acts of service dude?
Quality time and touch.
Quality time and touch.
Okay.
Shouts out to B+ in the chat.
What up, B+?
Plus, I shouted you out on my album.
Dang, you got a B+ shout on the album. Look at that.
Dang.
Midlife Christian Crisis.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's that album. I thought it was good. Real Jodeci, Chris Brown vibes. A lot of production going on. Just smoothness. Like he got that sound. Jay can do that. Jor'dan can do that.
Yeah.
And he does it well. And it's a very enjoyable album. I love the track Grace. I enjoyed that. The track Grace was great. And it was just a lot of stuff. I think She was a dope track. The track She, that's a powerful track. That was a pretty good joint as well. So I think we talked more about the skits and the music in this project, but salutes to your man Jor'dan Armstrong for putting out a great quality project. Again, that's Church Girls Love R&B. What y'all got? Anything else?
That's it.
We can move on.
All right. Dang, TJ just be pushing us along. TJ said, what's the next topic? Dang.
I was telling you.
TJ, the next topic is your man Triple E, Christian hip hop legend. He put out a project called The End. Dropped last week on the same day as Jordan's project. And we haven't heard from Trip in a while. Of course, he's been going through what he did. Then he did the pastor thing for a minute. But it's time to pick up the mic and do what he does. And let's go to Goss. What you think about Trip's project, Goss?
This is the best reach release of the year. On God, that's what I said.
Since we're only 2 or 3 months into 2022, that could be a possibility.
Oh, my bad. From last year too.
That is not true.
It is true.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yo, love the project. Like, I was nervous because we know Trip loves Jesus. And typically those ones that
I was nervous because Trip loves Jesus.
100%.
Go ahead.
Because the kind of artists that love Jesus the way Triple E loves Jesus, we feel like their music doesn't necessarily, resonate as it should in 2022, 2021. So I was nervous because I wasn't sure if he was going to sound like he loved Jesus or if he was going to sound like one of these rappers that are Christians that are, you know how we do. I'm a Christian rapper. I know. That's why I said Trip loves, that's why I was scared because I know Trip loves Jesus for real. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure his music was still on par with his beliefs as far as quality of the music.
Yeah.
So you feel me? So I was pleasantly surprised because it sounded up to date. You know what I'm saying? The beats was fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gave me Kanye, Gunna, Lil Baby in the joint. You feel me?
He was everybody on that album.
He was everybody, man. He was, yo, listen. I could just I could see somebody giving him a beat and like, yo, nah, yo, you got rapping like this on this joint. And he was like, all right, word. And he go in there like kill the joint. Like, yo, the album was dope. My favorite record was Witness with What Up RG and One Day. That joint is hard. You know what I'm saying? The joint with Taylor Hill is singing on that joint. Speaking of Taylor Hill is fire.
He's so dope. He's so dope.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, I love the record up and down. I think Trip has solidified even more his legendary status. And it's gonna be a dope record to perform when he goes on the tour, when he's on the Unashamed tour. Like that, I'm now looking forward to that Trip Lee set. More than I wasn't looking forward to it at all. But now I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't.
Don't do him like that.
Nah. Trip's a good people. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was that era. But now there's
I hear you.
You feel me? So,
yeah.
But yeah, like now, like, yo, when's Trip coming on? Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if Harvey's there, all right, I'm about to go to the bathroom. You feel me? Like, yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's how I feel like it's going to be the flow.
Did he just throw out Hovey like that? Did he just throw Hovey under the bus like that?
Nah, I ain't throwing under the bus. I'm just saying I'm ready to see Trip now. Like, it's a whole movie now when Trip comes out. Like, I'm going to be hyped. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I loved it. Shout out to Trip Lee. Let's go.
Brina.
Loved it. I've been listening to it since it came out. I mean, my favorite Trip Lee album, it's always a toss-up between Two Worlds and Rise. But I think this one topped those two for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the musicality behind the whole project. It was like a complete like one whole piece. Like everything just fit together like perfectly. And there's no skips. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite song from this one, but because it's like every time I listen to it, I find something else. It's always gonna be something different, but I loved it.
Nothing particularly stood out even for a season.
Probably put your weapon down.
That one got me too. That one got
That's
me too.
The one.
That one got me too. Especially with 1K at the end.
Yep.
That one got me too.
Tosh,
the feature that wasn't really a feature.
Wait, what'd you say?
Tosh, he's not lying, by the way.
Nobody's checking for the ambassador album. It's a fact.
Tree, though I will give it a listen just because it's Amber. He deserves a listen. Right. But
yeah.
I'm not expecting anything in 2022 that is gonna make
nobody's excited about that.
Dang.
We'll take it though.
Anyway, Trish.
Yeah. So when I first played it, I was like, I wasn't expecting any of that. Like the sound, like sonically, I was like, this is not really a Trip Lee like sound. But right. I think I like that. I was like, okay, and now I'm intrigued, right? And so I kept listening. What she saying?
I am, nigga.
You gotta relax, Tosh. You gotta relax.
Go ahead.
Wait. Anyway.
Who's talking to?
I know.
She's talking to Goss.
Oh,
what I say? Nobody is checking for the ambassador joint.
She said,
"Oh,
yeah."
Okay,
man.
so
that's funny. That's funny.
I'm listening and I'm like, okay, this is not your typical Trip like sound. So boom, I played the whole album initially, and I was like, okay. And you had text, you were saying how he sound like all these different people, and I was like, oh, I definitely hear that. Definitely hear Kanye influence. I hear Gunna, all them, right? So I was like, okay, I'm not really a huge fan of like the other, like Gunna, the Baby, all them, but I love Kanye and I love what he's been doing with his sound. So I think it like softened my ears to listen more. So then I played it just like Brina. I played it like 3 or 4 times in a row because it just, for some reason, it was just like, it was just catching on to me.
Okay.
And I found out that he produced the whole album, and I was like, yo.
Crazy. I didn't know he produced the whole joint.
I said, hold on. I said, wait a minute. Trip producing all?
I don't know that I believe he produced it, even though I know they might be saying that. Stephen and Levi, I feel you guys. I know what they're saying, but really? Trip produced this whole joint?
Yeah, that's what what's that child name?
It's in the credits.
Yeah, the producer from Reach. What is his name? What's his name, y'all? Help me out.
Biz?
What, Medina? Who?
No.
Biz? Not Biz?
No.
Gabi?
Anyway, it's gonna come to me. He had tweeted about it, and I was like, what? So that just like, I don't know. I was super impressed. I mean, Trip is a beast anyway. Like when he gets in the booth, that ninja can just like, no, not Perlazny. When he gets in the booth, like he's like a Jay-Z, you know, like he'll just spit and maybe he writes. I think he does write, but he's like a one take dude. Like I've seen him in person killing Ace Harris. Yes, thank you.
B-Plus got it. Okay.
I've seen him kill a whole song in one take, which I don't understand that because who does that? But I've seen it and he's just super impressive to me as an artist. I've always appreciated his art. But yeah, this album, it grew on me, but I'm loving it. No skips for me. I think you just gotta play it a couple times in a row.
So tell me about them first couple times you played it though. That first time or two. What was the feeling when the first time or two?
I was just trying to get used to it coming from him. Because the sound was familiar, right? Because he was giving me Kanye, he was giving me The Baby, he was giving me all these like these other mainstream artist vibes. And I'm not used to that coming from Trip. So it was just like, because me and my husband was like, I'm not used to this. But as I just kept listening, I was like, okay, nah, this right here is fire. Like that joint with Wanda and with RG, the joint with the
Serious.
Put Your Weapon Down. I was like, hold up. That joint again. Because
Serious.
The production, even though the production is like most of it is simple, right? Kind of like simplified.
Yeah.
It's still he just makes the song.
That joint hits though. That joint hits for real.
Yeah, it's just hitting right. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
So B+ is enlightening Tasha in the chat that Mr. Solo from Gospel Gangsters passed away. I would say first and foremost, Tasha, you're late.
He been dead.
Yeah.
Yes, he has been passed for almost about a year now. But definitely Chili Baby is about to just release something, and I expect it to be. I haven't listened to it yet, but I expect it to be hot. So listen, the production was really, really good. Like the sound sonically was really, really good. That's why the fact that Trip produced that himself, that's blowing my mind right now. The flows and the different flows and cadences, I was really good as well. I don't know why I could not connect with the album. And I thought the production was good. I thought the flow was good. And this was on the first and second listen. So I know next time we do reviews, I'm only listening first and second album, first and two listens. I'm not gonna listen a third time because on the third time I listened to the album, I really started liking it, and I feel like that's too many times. I feel like I should like an album on the first and second listen.
No, you shouldn't.
Who's
not true, quote.
Where's this criteria coming from?
Right. That doesn't always happen.
Remember, I'm the guy that's been in radio for the last 20 years.
Why is that a criteria?
That's a criteria of mine because I'm always thinking what hooks them, what gets them immediately. Boom, 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 boom. And this did not get me immediately.
What?
It did not get me immediately.
I understand where you're coming from.
It did not get me immediately. So,
you're bugging, man.
I had to listen 3 times before I was really like, I think I really, really kind of like this. And that's acknowledging that the production was really, really good. And his flows were really, really good. Like everything sounded really good, and I couldn't connect to it. And I don't know why. I couldn't connect to it necessarily.
So you're that person that doesn't like albums, like you don't let them grow on you. Like you don't like.
Again, Goss, I've been in radio for 20 years. I am very much a single heavy person.
Yeah.
And I'm very much the kind of person that is listening to find out what singles are people going to like.
You're the reason why hip-hop is the way it is.
So I'm not that very well could be true. And guess what? It still is what it is.
No, it's not. Because cats don't even care no more. Nobody's making radio singles.
That's true.
To an extent. No,
they're not. Because they tired of people like y'all.
Well, to an extent, it is what it is. But yeah, so the album didn't really grab me on the first 2 listens. By the 3rd listen, I started to feel it. But since I know how the game works, see, I know the law of repetition. So while you think an album is growing on you, really, it's just baby sharking you. That's all it is.
Nah,
we're not talking about baby shark.
No, it's not, quote.
You know how many times I heard Baby Shark? You know how many times? Yeah. Do you know how many times I've heard Baby Shark?
And you've never caught yourself singing Baby Shark?
That don't mean I like it. I don't like that mess.
But that's how that's how repetition works.
No, but it doesn't mean I like it. Even if I'm singing it, it doesn't mean I like it. That is not what that means. It means it's in my brain because my children are listening to it constantly. But I don't like the daggone song. I'd rather.
I don't like no Soulja Boy records. I hear him every day. Not every day, but when I was growing up, that's all we had was Soulja Boy every day on the radio. Turned every single time.
Yes, and I hated it.
Growing up,
he
was growing up. We ain't that far apart in age.
Yes,
Soulja Boy went on the record when I was growing up. Anyway,
when I was growing up, Soulja Boy was popping.
Yeah, that's true. He was in his era.
Yeah, me and Soulja the same age.
He only 6 years younger than me.
That's a long time, quote.
Yeah, it is. Because think about it. In high school, you were all the way out of high school.
He was not listening to Soulja Boy in high school.
Yes, I was.
Really?
No.
Yes.
When did Soulja Boy drop?
Bro.
26, 27, 25. What is that? 2005? 2006?
Something like that. I was in high school.
Yeah.
Dang, you was in high school still?
Yes.
Oh.
I know when he said it, I was like, geez.
Okay. Well, listen.
That's what I'm saying. I listened to Soulja Boy and turned every single time. I did not like it.
Sounds about
now
right.
I'm saying I listened to Kanye West Donda album. And I was like, yo, this is really amazing. Like, why did I not like this at the first? And then, because like it was CLB or Donda's joint. And I went to CLB.
Just said Soulja Boy was 2010. Is that true?
That's why I feel like that sounds about more right. Because I was in college.
2010?
No, it wasn't. I'm tripping.
You was in college in 2010?
He was.
No, I was not.
Okay. He was before 2010.
I had my first baby in 2010. So no.
Who are these young people that I'm doing this show with?
See.
Way before.
Soulja Boy invented the internet.
Earlier than 2010. My years is all
2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
You looked it up? 07. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
07, you weren't in high school, Goss.
That's when he first came out?
2007. Mm-hmm.
Was what, you? I definitely was in high school in 07.
Yo, listen, I didn't like that song, but I just thought about the song and it put a smile on my face. It's strictly repetition.
He was in the MySpace era. He sure was.
Oh, you bugging if you're saying that you don't let albums grow on you. That means
no.
never like an album.
You can call it what you want, man. My profession for almost 20 years didn't allow me necessarily the space to do that. I'm glad
that's what I'm saying.
If you were allowed to do that, that's great. That's beautiful. I wasn't.
You separate everything else.
I was looking for the next singles.
You separate child molesters from their music. If you can separate those two, you can separate your profession from you liking songs and you liking music.
So going back to that, I separate art from artists. That's what I separate art from artists.
So take your profession out of it and put in your genuine love for music.
If it was that easy, I would have done it for the last 15, 20 years.
Oh my God, you belong life.
So anyway, so I'm looking for singles. I'm looking for hits. I, as a former DJ and as a radio cat, I've always enjoyed sharing music. And so I'm listening to music thinking, wow, what is on this music that I would like to share? Mm-hmm. That's how I listen to music.
Listen to it. What do I like?
It's a communal experience for me personally. whether it's musical, whether it's paintings, whether it's operas, whatever it is, art is a communal thing for me.
But
personally.
nobody makes music for that reason. People make music because they're like, this can relate to somebody, not
honestly
everybody.
Don't give a flying F as to why.
That's why you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted with music opinions.
Art, and I like to share art.
You can't be trusted. You can't be trusted.
So if I'm listening like, yo, what do I hear that I would like to share? I didn't hear anything that I necessarily automatically was like, look, I got to make sure somebody else hears this or that somebody else hears this with me.
I did too. I was like, I was like, oh, we've grown now.
Yeah. I've been not cussing for many years, and I was not gonna cuss. But no, that's just not how I experience music. I don't experience music like you do. I'm also not a music maker like you are. So I don't expect that to be the case. Charles Brown in the chat, that's not true. Girls, people make music all the time with the mindset of they people gonna go crazy in the club with this. So
not the ones that last forever.
I mean, I would say that's true. Like
J. Cole don't care nothing about being in the club.
Yeah, a lot of people who don't care about that typically do last longer.
Jay-Z ain't have no tracks in the club in 444.
That's true. And that album is amazing.
And
the people that are going to last forever.
Jay-Z could not put out 444 in the late 90s, early 2000s. He could not.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
He couldn't put it out. He put that out with a certain level of cachet.
Nobody disagrees with
I mean, it was, right. I mean, that's where he was, right?
That's not the argument,
so you have to build up to that as an artist.
No, you don't.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
These days you don't. Not now you don't.
So the Excuse Me Miss and all the tracks with Pharrell was for not, right? The Timberland joints, Dust Your Shoulders, that was for not, right?
No.
Guys. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. They already had like tenure. So
exactly. Tenure allowed the artist to explore and it allowed cachet.
Sure, but what I'm saying is I can't make a blanket. I can't say that's a blanket statement for every artist, right? I'm just saying. I'm saying there are people who, a lot of artists, a lot of them who don't care. Look at Kanye. Kanye's like, I don't care. I don't care what this sound like. I don't care. Kanye is a perfect example. That nigga didn't care, and look. That's true. Look.
I think putting Kanye and not caring in the same sentence, Trish.
What?
Kanye
make an exception for Kanye
and not caring?
Yeah, why not?
What's the difference? We're talking about art. He did not care if it was going to get people moving in the club. That was not his focus at all. He was like, I got good music in me, and I'm about to make this music. Period.
That's
and I don't care what nobody says about what it sounds like, what I'm talking about. No, nobody want to hear this. I don't care. I'm putting it out.
And that's from All Falls Down.
Look how many Grammys this man got on his first album. Come on now.
Kanye
ain't nobody know who Kanye was for real.
No, he cares about his craft. He doesn't care what people think.
I'm not talking about him not caring about his craft. I'm talking about him not caring about what people think about the music. Like he's not trying to make no hit. That's what, because you were saying
art.
You were saying no.
Kanye don't care what people think about his art.
Period. And what you were saying though, it's what's important to you is if it's a hit. Like if it's not a hit, like what's like that's what you were saying.
Mr. If I didn't win this Grammy, I was going to go crazy, but we don't have to find out what that is because I got the Grammy. Don't care about what people think about his art.
He didn't.
Yes, absolutely.
He cared so much. He knew that his art was so dope that he knew. That's confidence. First of all, I know my art is so dope that I deserve these wins. Period. And I ain't mad at that man. That's all I'm saying. Like he did not care about what other people thought or how it felt or if it got hit in the club. He didn't care about that.
Right.
If it was a hit on the radio, he don't care. He's like, I'm about to make this music. Period. I'm not making the music a certain and making it sound a certain way to appeal to the masses. Like that's not what he was making.
He made what he thought was hot. Like that's always that's what he thinks.
He made us believe it, and it was fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now today is a totally different conversation. We talking about initially. I'm talking about his first album. He was not caring, and it gave him the most Grammys he's probably ever gotten for one album.
And he couldn't have cared for Jesus. Because Jesus was trash, but you couldn't tell me it wasn't whack.
It was terrible.
I don't know.
I get both sides too. I'm not saying that one is more right. I'm just saying because look, I would tell my husband, I said, if I can write a hit and get a couple mil, please believe I'm gonna write me a hit that's gonna appease to the masses because why not? I think it's smart to do that, right? Like I think it's if you have a strategy, cool, ain't nothing wrong with that. But typically, what Goss is saying, typically, cats that last longer, like really don't care about it being a hit. That's what I agree with.
A platinum plaque with no melodies. Cold, 10 hot summers. Cold.
Every artist ain't Cole. Cole can come out, do an album, and disappear for 2 years. Most artists can't do that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Most artists cannot do that.
So, before y'all raise my blood pressure,
why was we even hyped like that? I don't even understand.
I don't know what happened.
Because
Quote said that it took him 3 times.
I'm talking about my personal experience with music first and foremost.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. I ain't telling y'all how y'all should listen to music. I ain't whatever the case may be. And I even expect that because I've been a music pusher for so long that the way I listen to music and tracks and records and songs is different from the way that most. All right. Goss's audacity that everybody listens to it like him bothers me.
Oh, okay. I got you. I missed that.
So that's what started the whole, okay.
So anyway, with that being said, especially when you're an artist, anyway, so Tripley's project is called The End. Did we get any real understanding, or did he release anything saying why that it's called The End?
I was just guessing that this was his last album. That's the only reason why I thought he named it that. The album didn't really sound like he was saying anything about it being the end, but he's not done. He's just talking about the end of him.
The end of him.
He's coming to the end of himself.
Okay.
Is he still tired?
Yes.
He still got that sleeping disease?
Yeah.
He
talked about it.
He did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't think it's something that can be cured. He just has to manage his energy level.
Is it insomnia?
Certain.
No, it's like a severe, what is it called, babe? I forget. It's like a severe
fatigue.
Fatigue. That's it. Severe fatigue.
Okay.
Wow.
I promise y'all I don't get hyped up all the time. It could have just been the bang. It could be the fact that I'm now rooting for a new football team. But
it's stress.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to share, tell a neighbor, tell a friend what we got going on right here at the Tastemakers Pod. Again, make sure to hit that like button. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it does mean the world to us. And Tripley, is there anything else y'all got to say about that album?
Salute to the light-skinned brother. We hold it down for the light-skinned releases.
I can't. Come on.
So, so listen. God Behind Bars did a joint with Kirk Franklin and Maverick City, and they went into the prisons and whatnot. And looks like they had some kind of worship concert that was really, really kind of dope. And you could see Kirk there, and of course Mr. Moore. That's Scott Free right there from City Takers, And you could see all them dudes in prison worshiping the Lord. Definitely a beautiful thing right there. And of course, God behind bars, they seem to do things like this all the time. Thought it was really, really dope. And I don't know that I had a whole lot to say about it, but I thought it needed to be broadcast. We need to know that they were doing that. Yeah.
Why do we feel like people behind bars don't know Jesus or don't have like why is it a big deal when people are worshiping in jail? As if they weren't.
So I don't think
that's the thing though. But that's the thing. Like, oh my God, look at all these prisoners worshiping Jesus. As if there's not Christians in jail.
Right. I mean, I think that's a good.
If I go to jail today, I'm going to that concert with Kirk and Chandler because I'm you feel me?
Well, I think there's a couple things that go with that, right? I think the first thing is the thought process is these people. A lot of people like to just demonize these people.
Right.
They're criminals. They don't deserve anything. They don't know from God. They're degenerates. Yada yada yada. So people do that to these. They dehumanize these people first and foremost. Second off, people forget about these people.
Absolutely.
So when this kind of ministry happens, or when this kind of concert happens, or whatever you want to call it, worship experience, yada yada yada, it's showing, hey, these people still matter. We still want to go in, minister, worship with them, on and on and on and on like that. So I think that's kind of what that's about.
Okay.
I think that's what that's about.
Yeah, and I think too, people in light of people forgetting them, they don't think that they're redeemable. Like,
that's
you know what I mean? It's like there's no, there's no coming back from what they've done. But it's like, nah, like God also can save someone who's committed crimes. Like, it's not a hard thing for him to do. So, yeah.
So I just really enjoyed that because, like I said, people do forget them. And so I love the fact, Kirk Franklin, Chandler Moore, they don't have to go do this by any means. And the fact that they were willing to do this for ministry's sake, or just to put the Imago Dei on these people. And then y'all know, we live in America. So, we got the most incarcerated people in the world by far. And so even with that, we have to look at the injustice that puts all these people there. A lot of times we have to look at people that are possibly innocent, that just because of how the system works out, gets there. We have to think of people who did extremely petty crimes, but didn't have enough money to make bail or afford anything above a public defender. And now you are doing way more years than you should because of your class.
I've always had good public defenders. My public defenders be popping. I'm just saying.
Boy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't play like that. I'm serious.
No, for real, I have. I'm dead too. I'm dead serious too. I'm not lying.
You went to jail.
I might did a day or two.
That's why we talked about this.
I think we have. I think we have.
Because both me and Goss have both done a day or two. Mine was totally
not. I was about to be like, don't you?
Mine was a true injustice. What? Goss's was not a true injustice.
What happened? What got you like that?
It was just a traffic situation, right, Goss?
I was driving on spinning license 5 times.
Yeah. So Goss's was not an injustice. Mine, I got handcuffed, locked up, and thrown into a cell on a clerical error.
Oh, snap! Word!
Yeah,
I'd be sick.
Wow.
Yeah, a bench warrant was issued for my arrest because somebody in the clerk's office forgot to put that I had actually paid a ticket.
Quote. So, like, when you found out it was a clerical error, like they probably just said it in mad chill, like, "Oh, we're sorry, it was a clerical error. You can go."
So, a couple of things, right? So, one, as the cop is holding me, I'm like, listen, this is my receipt. Like, look, this is the transaction. I've paid this ticket. There should be no bench warrant for me, first and foremost. Second off, the next morning, when all the other inmates in the public holding, I was in the holding cell by myself, and then they funneled in the Gen Pop, because everybody had to do their court joint. So I'm in there, and honestly, my heart just went out to all these people in there because all I'm seeing in my eyes, all I'm seeing is kids. You know what I mean? And then most of it, as I hear them talk and whatever, all of it is like drug charges, like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm hearing. And at that time, I was in Kentucky, so I'm like, these kids just got bored and got wrapped up in some nonsense because there was nothing to do. And that's just kind of how I saw that. So my heart really went out to these kids while I'm holding my best meme mug because you know, it is what it is, right? And so. And so they funneled out all of these guys. They all go to court, and I'm the only one left. And they're like, Mr. Parson, you're not supposed to be here.
You was the only one left. Oh my Lord.
I look at my dude and I'm like, yeah, I know. Tried to tell y'all that last night.
Yeah,
I can go now.
That's crazy.
So then we walk to we go over to the clerk's office, and they've already started to get word of what's transpired. So the clerk, this was a small town in Kentucky, so they're actually mortified. They're
gotta be
like, they're like, oh
I'm
my
glad
God, we just caused this man to have to spend the whole night in jail. I was engaged at that time too, so yeah, it was horrible. I was, but the wife showed up like, what y'all doing? She showed up like for real, so that was kind of dope. But yeah. So that was that. It was a crazy night again. But yeah. I mean, shoot, to be a black man and end up in the back of a car cuffed, you try to. I tried to spend my whole life not to be in that situation, and then to be in that situation because of somebody else's mistake. Kind of sucks.
That ain't right.
Wow.
Yeah. So eventually that joint got expunged per se, Tosh. And I had one of my cop dudes kind of just check my record and just see if anything was there. And then when I went to get my insurance license, it popped up again. And I had to call the courts and whatnot, and they had to do something else with it. So that's just what it was, whatever the case may be. But yeah, so that's that story there. Again, I think the key thing we want to say with this story is don't forget the people that are behind bars.
Yeah.
Don't forget them.
Some
of them ain't supposed to be there. Some of them have been there way too long for little silly stuff. And at the end of the day, our country makes a lot of money on this system. And it's really, really, really bad, really horrifying, especially when you look at other countries. Like, it's just crazy, right? So you would think, what do Americans just commit more crime than everybody else? No, that's not even it. Nope. It's just we lock more people up than everybody else because
slavery 2.0.
There you go. 13th Amendment. So anyway, I definitely think it was dope what Guy Behind Bars did. Shouts out to Kirk Franklin, Scott Free of City Takers, as well as, of course, Chandler Moore and Maverick City for going out there and spending their time, ministering to these people and worshiping with these people. So that is what it is.
Kiara, you probably cussed everybody out.
Wait, you probably was in that story.
You probably was in that thing going crazy.
I don't know that one. We might have to get her on here to tell that story because I'm like, what? You did? What happened? Gee, what?
Oh man,
you probably deserved it.
Oh wow, she said she wasn't.
She said she deserved it, boy.
Oh man. So that's what it is. Getting on to our last topic here. Speaking of being handcuffed and put into the back of the paddy wagon, Black Panther's own, Fruitville Station's own, Ryan Coogler. This is a picture of Ryan Coogler with a withdrawal joint in his hand, and he's at the teller, mask on, obviously a COVID mask. He got the little cap on and the glasses. He's trying to be discreet, obviously. And if you go on to the next joint, Bree, he hands the bank teller this. I would like to withdraw $12,000 cash from my checking account.
Right.
Please do the money counting in the back. I'd like to keep this discreet.
Yeah, because that's a rack of money.
Listen, the teller hit her boss up. It was like, yo, we being robbed.
What?
Yes.
Wait.
And the cops came and they cuffed your man, Ryan Coogler.
So annoyed.
Now, I want to be like the Breakfast Club and play a little game called Guess What Race It Is? But it was actually a black lady, a black teller. She was pregnant, and she actually is the one. She says that something popped up on her screen when she went to enter the account, Bank of America. Something popped up on her screen, and so she alerted a boss, and they called 911. I'm like, I who have been a teller before, yeah, you go to make a $12,000 withdrawal. Yes, something is going to pop up on the screen. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. It's a huge withdrawal.
But does that mean that he's robbing you?
That he's robbing you? Of course not. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying.
I don't know how she jumped to that necessarily, especially in today's world when everybody's got masks on. He gave you a withdrawal slip. It says from my account.
Yeah.
Like, yo, did y'all say we trading her for Yeva?
Listen.
We've been trading a mini cat for Yeva, though, for real.
Listen, it's okay for it to be
anything over
triggered.
10K is going to trigger the management.
Yeah, and that's fine, but you do your due diligence. Do your due diligence.
There we go.
And figure out what the hell is going on. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, it was a well-deserved hell. It was a well-deserved hell.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
Goss, you about to say something trifling. Go ahead.
Wow.
All right. J.R. Song said her name got to be Karina. Karina.
I don't cuss, y'all. That just was like, I don't even know.
That's frustration like a mug. What you about to say, Goss?
Mm-hmm. All right. So there's two perspectives to this.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Go ahead, boy. Go ahead.
We don't know if this lady maybe had got robbed before, and when they were robbing her, they made it slid her a note.
True.
So all she sees is dude in mask, whatever, slide me a note. $12,000, nah, we robbing. Nope, clicking it. So she may have not, her instincts may have not let her do the due diligence that she wanted to do. Because all she knew was.
That's fair.
Because I'm thinking because the last 3 robberies that I've seen on like TV is people handing people letters. You know what I'm saying? And then we getting robbed. I don't know. So I would be a little like, hold on a second. I'd be a little hesitant myself and a little on edge. So I'm not mad that am I mad?
Thank you, Stephen the Levite. I'm not robbing a bank for $12K.
Right.
A lot of money. What you mean?
No, it's not a lot of money.
It's not enough money to be robbing no bank.
Nobody knows that's not a lot of money more than a bank teller. Believe me that. Believe me.
A lot of money to me. I'd rob a bank.
As a person who's been a bank teller before, you can't even look at the money like real money. It's just too much money. I like literally like I had my brain like, oh, this is monopoly money. Because the minute you start realizing that you got all this money that you're dealing with, it can get dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
You lose it, and then it's real money when you lose it.
If you lose it, it's real money.
TJ said that when she called 911, she said she was just nervous, and that makes sense. I get that. I get that, right? Being someone who like when you experience trauma like that, understood completely.
Yeah.
However,
again, we put trauma on this lady that we don't know for sure that there was actually a trauma, but
right. Maybe not. We don't know. But JR said if she got robbery trauma, she needed to see a therapist.
She does.
Sure, because you're working in a place that is like that can happen. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, why not do your due diligence first? Like that's all I'm saying. Like you all you had to do was do the proper situations, and you would know who this man is. Okay, that's why he's asking you to count $12,000 cash in another room. Like. None of that.
And the note says, "Take it from my account."
No, right? He's not saying, "Give me the money." He ain't say, go to the vault and give me the money. Like, he didn't say none of that. So,
but sometimes our brains don't read what's actually on the paper and then
Absolutely.
read what it wants to read.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because the note itself makes it look weird. Like,
right.
That's the optics. It's
but here's the thing, though. You don't want to walk up to the counter and say, "Let me get $12K." You don't want to say that out loud.
No,
I
get that part.
You don't want people to know who you are. You don't want all that jazz. I had who would I have? Was it Aaron Brooks and Allen Iverson came in while I was at the bank, and these jokers come in there. They're trying to be discreet. I want to say
at the same time they came in? At the same time?
No.
At the same time?
Not at the same time. Not at the same time. But they're trying to be discreet, right? So one thing I noticed about celebrities is they will put the shades on and they will put stuff in their ears really quickly because they want you to see that they're listening to something or possibly talking to somebody so that you don't feel indulged to, hey, is there and talk to them. You know what I mean? So that's that. So Aaron walks in and he's got boom, boom, boom. And I don't think he even said who he was, but he just slided me the deposit slip. It's not unusual for bank tellers to be slid deposit slips.
Right.
That's not, or withdrawal slips or whatever case may be.
Yes.
That's not unusual. It might be unusual that it was a full out note on that joint. That might be a little unusual. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. But depending on who you're dealing with, you just gotta, it's unfortunate. Because I hate to say it. Even concerning, a black lady, I just feel like.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, if that was a white dude, would the same thing happen? That's the ultimate question.
Maybe. You never know. You never know. I mean, because
hold on. TJ said Bank of America doesn't have bank slips. They don't have withdrawal slips?
Since when? Well, I ain't been to Bank of America in years. So you might be right about that.
I mean, they said they brought the picture said alleged note or whatever that we saw. Well, I mean, I don't know that I would
recommend. He wrote the note on the back of a deposit slip or a withdrawal slip, though.
The king is he's trying to be discreet. You don't want nobody to know that a quote unquote celeb is in the joint. And then second off, you don't want nobody to know that you come in to get $12K because you don't want nobody to know that you got $12K on you. So you're trying to be discreet.
How would it be a crime, JR, to ask for $12,000? I don't understand. Am I missing something?
I'm trying to see that.
He's saying is his bad judgment a crime? No. Otherwise, they're going to owe him a lot more than what he asked for.
I feel like that's not what he's.
I wouldn't recognize Ryan either if he walked down the street.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I would not have recognized Ryan right off either. Okay. Yep. Plus, Cat's got the mask on. He had a COVID mask on and his sunglasses and a cap. So I would not have recognized Ryan, right? But I'm going to read the joint. I'm probably going to read it a second time just to make sure I understood what was going on. I'm just not jumping to conclusions that quick when it comes to, but I mean, maybe.
And you got to be careful out here. Like, and I feel like, okay, I know I can't box everybody in a box, right? I can't put them in a box, right?
Right.
But for me, like TJ saying, he gave her his ID. Didn't she verify it? That's the part I don't understand. But also, like, you got to be careful. Black men, like you're talking about a black man that you're accusing of robbing this bank. Like, that could mean death for him. And let's just keep it above.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, sis, do your due diligence. That's all I'm saying. And I don't know.
Yeah.
He was arrested.
He was put in the back of the car, cuffed. Well, I mean, not arrested, but he was cuffed.
This is in California?
This is in Atlanta, as I understand.
I hope she, I mean,
wow.
I don't want to say I hope she feels terrible, but I'm sure she does. If she said she was nervous, I'm sure she feels terrible. But it's just like, girl.
Yeah, I don't get why they escalated to that so quickly. I mean, listen, I mean, like I said, maybe Goss is right. Maybe she had a recent experience. then maybe I get it a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not. I don't think I've ever been in a situation in my life where my first thought process is call the cops. That's just not my thought. That's not how my brain works.
Right.
That is not how my brain works. Call the cops? No. I feel like I mean, I hate to say it, but in today's time, I feel like I could probably handle the de-escalation of a situation better than
I call the cops quick. Listen. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell y'all. I had to call the cops last week again.
Oh, because your neighbor?
Our neighbors on this side, not downstairs, on this side, screaming. When I tell y'all, I'm talking about screaming at the top of their lungs, fighting. I'm in the bed. It's like, what? Me and Daryl, I had to wake him up because I was like, what's happening? It was like 3:00 in the morning.
Oh my
Screaming at the top of their lungs. And all I hear is like, I hear banging and I hear the screaming. They both screaming at each other. And I'm like, like, what's happening? Because we can call security, but at 3:00 in the morning, security ain't coming. So my next thing is like, well, even if I don't know what's happening, so let me just call the police because I don't have time. I have kids here. Okay. I am going to protect my children. I know my husband can protect them as well, but I naturally am like, I'm going to do whatever I can to protect my children, right? And my home, my peace. I need my peace, okay? They screaming at the top of their lungs. I'm like, look, I'm gonna call the police, even if it means just tell them to be quiet. And they came. I opened the gate for them. They came. I heard when they banged on the door, and this chick gonna say, "Oh, he about to go to work. He about to go to work, huh? Would y'all just screaming like y'all fighting like cats and dogs? I don't understand." So they stopped. Praise God. But I'm like, I don't care. At this point, I used to be like, no, I ain't calling police. No, yep, I'm gonna call the police. Yep.
Call the boys on you.
Whew. Yeah, I can't do it. Before we get out of here, I don't want to go into that. I was about to go into something, but I didn't have another married guy I could bounce it off of necessarily.
Wait, Daryl's in here.
Yeah, I was thinking of. Yeah, no. I mean, another guy on screen is what I was thinking. But yeah, I was actually thinking about Daryl when I thought about it as well. Listen, what? Oh, you know what? I went through something. I don't think that I'll experience it now, but I experienced it when I first got married and first had the first child, right? Mm-hmm. Where, I don't even know how to explain it, but my wife just really was like, "Oh, you crazy? Not you crazy, but that you know what? I don't know what you're thinking." And I was like, "Yeah, we want to know." Quote, I guess I don't know if it was a protector thing with the new family, whatever the case may be. Mm. Like even hearing people when we were in an apartment back then, and we would hear people screaming. I mean, if I heard somebody beating somebody up, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But hearing people screaming, I was more of at that time a mind your business type because, and I was genuinely scared that I never wanted any retaliation on my family.
Right, for sure.
You know, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm not talking about hearing anybody getting their brains beat out. That's one thing.
Right.
But just yelling and something like that, that's kind of how my thought was. Whereas my wife was more like you, was like, "Yeah, we need to call the cops." I'm like, look, that's their business. I just didn't want nothing on me, my wife, my newborn, my family. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. It was
understood. Yeah.
Place. And I don't know if that's something that guys would go through in general. That kind of feeling. That's why I was trying to add another married man, how that looked at, or if they ever felt anything like that. What were we about to say, Goss?
Do they know that you would call the cops? Like, what would they know? It was you that called them?
My brain went there. You know what I mean? My brain was like, oh, these people that I don't know in this area that I don't know, with this family that I don't know. I mean, that I'm just got that I have to protect. You know what I mean? We won't mind our business because if somebody, and that's another thing that was in my brain. Like, if something happened to this family, like I'm killing somebody, then I'm in jail for life. And no, just mind our business. You know what I mean? Like these are the kind of thoughts that were going on early on when I first got married and first had kids.
I think my husband definitely has thought that. And for me, like I have bad anxiety. So like the screaming, because I have experienced somebody beating somebody in the next door, and I can hear it. So immediately when I hear that, I literally am having a panic attack, and I was having a panic attack in my bed at that point in time. For me, and my husband knows this, like, I have to protect my peace, or me physically, my physical body is in danger. I have high blood pressure, all of that. I don't care. I'm like, at this point in my life, I do not care. I'm calling police because y'all gonna shut up. Because I have also said something to them and also called the cops, because I was like, he was choking her. He was choking her.
Oh,
so, and that's the reason, because it's the same.
Got you.
That's the reason. That's the reason why. Like, if you're just screaming and hollering, sometimes I'm like, whatever, whatever. But because I know they have a history, I'm like, nah. And the first time, I was like, get up out of here. Like, I didn't care. I don't care. I'll be like, what? Right? Even though I don't have no gun, I ain't got no nothing. But I have the Holy Spirit.
Just you and Jesus. Amen. I understand. and all them angels.
Exactly. Period.
Yeah. No.
So, but yeah, it's such a, I don't like it. I'm just ready to just be like, get away. I don't want to deal with that no more, because it's not okay.
I think a lot of that has a lot to do with my distrust for the police as well. Like,
oh yeah, that too.
I'm just like, man, I be done called you guys, and then y'all end up doing something stupid, and now I'm feeling guilty. My heart went out for that dude. I can't think of where it was, but I want to say it was right around the Breonna Taylor time period, right before Breonna Taylor, where that dude had called the police because his neighbor's door was ajar. And the police came and shot inside the house, and the lady was playing video games with her nephew.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was right before Breonna Taylor, I want to say. And no, TJ. Yeah, no, not by any means is every cop bad by any means. I'm just saying society is trained to me as a black man that I could probably de-escalate in my brain. I don't know if it's true, but I feel like I could probably de-escalate better. Something better than most cops, and that's just my personal opinion. I don't know. I don't have any facts to back that up. That's just my personal opinion that I'm gonna probably de-escalate this better than that guy. And of course I've had way more run-ins with cops than I should have. To be a man with no record, I've got way too many stories with cops.
Same. I feel the same way. I think in certain situations, I'm just like, all those things could go in my mind too. But then I have to think about me, my own health, my own mental health, and my children. Like, that's all I think about is my kids. And I'm like, if these ninjas is out here, like, I don't know what these people got guns. I don't want them to hear it. For me, I'm like, even if you hear it, hearing that is traumatic. For me, I'm shaking. Just like Inez would say, I was literally shaking and couldn't breathe right. Like, I don't need that. Call the cops.
Yeah. And I want to make sure, I want to put this out again. No way, form, or fashion are we all saying that all cops are bad or whatever the case may be. But like I said, I'll say what I just said again. I've had way too many run-ins with officers, just to be a guy with no record. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just had way too many run-ins. You know what I mean? And some of them have been good run-ins where the cops, were smart and humble and handled situations. Other situations were so god awful. So god awful. Man, we got a little bit of a time. I'll go into. We can have our cop stories. You got any crazy cop stories, Ross?
Most times I deserved it, everything they did.
Oh my God.
But there was one in 2020 where they maced me for protesting, and I was on the news, and that's really got my activism started that year in 2020. But I never was on some F the cops, F12 type stuff. Because I think I've had more positive run-ins than I've had negative. So I told y'all that I got caught suspended 5 times. It really should be 8, but 3 they let me go.
Wow.
He was out here riding dirty for real. Like
I was a wild boy in college.
Yeah.
How
So
did you even? Okay.
my last two experience with police officers, one of them a really, really good experience. The last one, an absolutely horrid experience. So we'll start with the good. So the good experience. This was probably 2016, 2017. I was delivering for Amazon Prime, right? I was delivering for Amazon Prime, Amazon, whatever the case may be, delivering boxes. I caught a flat tire in a neighborhood. And I roll up in the cul-de-sac and I'm flat. I ain't have a spare on me or nothing like that. I'm calling the tow truck.
Right.
Tow truck say it's going to be here in a certain time period. Took forever. So as it took forever, it was a hot day. Okay. And I'm sitting there like, all right, can't go nowhere. I'm starving though. This is normally when I eat lunch. Let me DoorDash or Uber Eats, whatever I did, a Chipotle burrito. So it's hot. And I'm eating this Chipotle burrito in a hot tail car, in a hot tail situation. What was going on with my AC? I don't know. I don't even know. But anyway, in a flat tire, waiting on a tow truck, in a cul-de-sac. And so I eat this burrito, and I doze off. Doze off, hot, big burrito. And I'm a big dude. Straight food coma.
Right.
I wake up to 2 police cars, a fire engine, and the whole 9.
A fire engine?
Yeah, I don't know what fire engine was for, but hey, it's all good. I figure if they had to break into something, maybe they need the fire engine. I don't know. Anyway, one of the neighbors saw me sitting there, and it called the Popo. Popo comes up to me. Now, I'm from the suburbs. My code switches superb. It was superb. I could code switch with the best of them. You feel what I'm saying? And probably roll the window down. I roll the window down, and I realize I'm still a little bit in this food coma. So the thing I depend on with my communication skills, I'm having a hard time with my words in my brain coming out of my mouth. So now I'm like, oh my God, they might think I'm on something. You know what I mean? Or just something like that. Because I'm
just
now
woke
slowing,
up.
Just woke up, food coma, slurring my words. And again, I so depend on my ability to communicate and code switch.
Yeah.
And but they assessed the situation, and it was they didn't make it anything more than it had to be. They were understanding of it. They assessed the situation, had me get out of the car. I was able to show them what was going on. It was just chill and cool. They didn't escalate the situation. Beautiful situation. Got back in my car, waited another 2 or 3 hours for my daggone tow truck. That was that. Good experience.
Yeah.
Good experience. Yeah. The last experience, which was horrible. I was delivering again when I was in a downtown city area. And I guess there are rules in the downtown city area that, and this is Norfolk, VA, that you can't leave your car running and get out your car and go into a place. So I'm a delivery driver. I do this joint all the time.
Right.
I leave my car running. I get a package, at that time, and I deliver and I come back to a running car, yada, yada, yada. So cop stops me, and it's a black dude and a white dude. And from the jump, the white dude has his hand on his hip.
For what?
Jump. I don't know. But we're talking, and the only thing that I could, he's challenging me on everything. And no matter how I show respect, show whatever, I'm already going to be a respectable dude. You got a badge and a gun. And I'm just, and again, I'm giving you the yes sirs and all that jazz.
Right.
I'm just trying to go home. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the case may be. And he just wants me to stop talking and listen to him berate me. And in that moment, gun on the hip, fussing at me, whatever the case may be. I'm at that point, I'm not saying too much or nothing. And I realized I was already not really saying anything. But then when I even said, understand or yes, sir, or whatever the case may be, he would get further infuriated. So in my mind, I had to realize, he really wants me to say nothing. He wants me to humble myself as a child before him. He wants me to shut up.
Like he a god.
And eventually, and like I said, I got that. I eventually got it. And I just totally humbled myself and became a child in front of this cop so that I could get home.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I looked at the black guy, like the other black cop, like,
you just gonna let this man talk to me like
what are we doing here? Like, like what's going on?
They don't care.
Where my heart really was at it though is at that time I was in my maybe late 30s, mid 30s. I was in my mid 30s probably when this hopped off. And all I could think in my brain is any early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s year old black kid could not have just done what I just did. Like to just for the spirit to really, be like, you nigga, humble yourself. Just shut up. Just shut up and just no yes sir, no nothing, no I understand, no nothing. Just hush. Let him berate you so that you can get out of here. Yeah. I don't expect a 20-year-old to understand that. A 25-year-old, a 28-year-old to be able to do that. And so I'm worried because I'm like, man, if you out here on the streets, I'm like, look, again, 20-something-year-old suburban me, I don't know that I would have thought that. I was in my mid-30s by that time. Absolutely horrible situation. I was totally humiliated. He totally belittled me while all having his hand, on his gun. And just, and of course, he was younger than me, white dude, and just berated me.
Isn't it illegal? Is it illegal for them to put their hand on their gun while unless they have a reason to? Because I thought that wasn't. I don't know. I could be wrong, but when you said that, it just reminded me that's why it's important to train your children, your sons especially, how to respond to that because I think they're not a lot. They are not a lot, but there are some black 20-year-old men who know what's up, but it's I don't think it's a lot. And if you aren't trained, if your parents aren't telling you and training you, don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not having that conversation with your kids,
and then Charles even put the talk in there, and we got to have the talk with them. But I'm telling y'all, this was beyond the talk. I'm already respectful. I want to let you know that I understand. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's cool. I can take care of that. No worries. Don't have to worry about that. I was already there. The talk stuff, we are hands open, free, whatever the case may be, yada, yada, boom, boom. This was beyond that. He wanted me to know without a shadow of a doubt that he was that guy in that situation. And it was so humiliating. Yeah. And like I said, the spirit literally had to go, hey, Tony, shut up. Don't, yes, sir. Don't, no problem. Don't any of that. He wants to get off. He wants to get it off. Let him get it off. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I just don't expect that a young man would have been able to do that. And that worries my heart. Yeah. Because now some young man is shot in the street or roughed up or whatever the case may be because you got a God complex. Yeah. And all he's doing is speaking up against his injustice. Or, like I said, this wasn't even a situation where I was speaking up against any injustice. Just letting you know, hey, okay, I apologize, did not know, understand, won't happen again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was my last experience with the Popo. And I've had all kinds of countless experience with the cops. And I'm right about that, man. Yeah. Well,
that's terrible.
Never did anything there. So that's trash. That's my sob story for the night. I guess we'll hit the chat just to see, any stories or anything going on in that, and different things of that nature. And then we'll go ahead and get up out of here. What y'all see in the chat?
Oh, yeah. Daryl was saying, am I being detained? There's a video on TikTok this lawyer, she's literally saying like there's like 2 or 3 things that you can say that will keep you alive. And one of the first thing is, am I being detained? And that's all you need to say, nothing else. Am I being detained? And then I forget the other statement or 2 statements that she says to say only to keep you from getting shot or killed. And so I was like, I'll send it to, I don't know if y'all are on TikTok, but I'll send it to y'all. I was like, wow, okay, hey, we need to all know this.
Oh, for sure. We need to all know this. JR saw him talking about some 13 guns. What in the world? Let me see if I can find that post. Had 13 guns pointed at me for being black with my black friends getting dropped off in the hood on a Friday.
Sheesh.
Wow.
That's a whole nother story right there. I was picking up one of my dudes from the hood. This was early on. And again, I was from the suburbs, so I didn't know no better. I kind of went off on this time, right? So I'm picking up one of my dudes. He lived in a more sketchy part of the city. We are driving out of this little neighborhood or whatever, and the cops pull us over, unmarked cars, yada, 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 guns drawn.
I hate that.
Gun drawn. Get out the car, get on the ground. Now, we had to talk with my parents. I was, but my suburban crazy self got out the car, and I went to mouthing off, like, what's going on here? Like, I went on. My dude from the, from the area looked at me and literally was like, get, he had to check me, whatever the case may be. Got on the ground, boom, boom, boom. They checked the IDs. Oh, okay, we thought y'all were such and such, somebody else, mistaken identity, yada, yada, yada. That's one of my many stories. I got stories for days on cops. It's crazy.
I got a few. And the cops don't care if you're a woman or not. They disrespectful. Disrespectful. Like, they do not care. Especially if you black. I feel like if you're a black woman, and it's either a white cop or like other, they do not care. They don't care.
They don't.
They disrespected me in the car with all my kids in it. And I'm like, what are you doing? We're out literally waiting for Daryl. He pulled over. This is in New York because New York is disrespectful. NYPD. Yes, y'all are disrespectful. Pull me over. We were pulled over. The headlights were on. Daryl went to go run and get our food because where you gonna park in New York, in Brooklyn? There's nowhere to park. We got to get our food. We got to double park wherever we can. So that's what he did. Me and all my kids is in the car. They come up right next to us, knowing that we're in the car, start writing the ticket. I get out of the car and I go like this. First I was like, what's up? Because I think Daryl was coming out like while they were getting out writing the ticket. And they're like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. They going off. And I'm like, where else we supposed to go, sir? Like, we just like, where else we supposed to go? Asian dude is writing a ticket. And I'm like this. He gonna ignore me and put it in the under the wipers. I said, oh, you can't hand it to me? I surely did. I was like, oh, you can't hand it to me? I'm standing right here, sir. You could have just handed it to me. And he just got back in the van and kept it moving. When I tell you, I was like so pissed. I was like, y'all wild. Yeah. But it's just crazy.
Yeah. Stephen Levite said in high school, I got mistaken for a 30-year-old. That's another thing that's really dangerous as black men is just how quickly they are to take our childhood away from us and automatically see us as being older. I worry about that so much with my son. He's, he just turned 16, but he's like 6'1" and yada, yada, yada. And I'd be like, they going to think he older than he is. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. So, that's what it is. We'll I guess we'll chime out on that note.
Right. We don't want to trigger anybody either.
We don't want to. We already triggered. That's a few of our stories and stuff like that. Yeah. So now it's just you try your hardest, just not to be in any kind of crazy situation. And unfortunately, it seems like it still kind of finds you sometimes. But yeah, we'll just keep giving the talk, and we'll just praying that our kids, our brothers, our sisters can get home safe. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that is what it is. Again, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Tastemakers Pod. That's Trisha Bell. That'd be Light Skin Corey.
Yeah.
That's Brina right there. They call me Quote, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Tastemakers.
Classic. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. For the movers and shakers, for the new tastemakers, sommeliers came out to play. Classics in the current day. For the movers and shakers, for the new tastemakers.